Hey guys, Brian from MBK Reptiles here, and right now we're currently in our upstairs floor at MBK Reptiles, and we're actually have a very surprise for you. So we have a carpet python that actually laid eggs, which is really cool because it's the only female that we actually have that was actually gravid. Now, unfortunately, we tried to rotate our females like year after year, and we basically had 3 females growing back. But when I ended up breeding 2 of my other females, they ended up fighting with the males because they were actually males. It does happen. Unfortunately, it happened this year with 2. So we ended up being stuck with only 1 female. Now, carpet pythons are very hard to sex. Even as babies whatsoever, it seems as if people tell me, they're like, oh, are you 100% sure it's a female? Well, if I haven't seen the hemipenes, then it's a female, but I'm never 100% sure because for whichever reason, it's always happened with my carpet pythons that I've grown some up. Probably I should have verified them a few other times, but it is what it is. We're here today. So we have a jaguar head albino carpet python. You can come here. And then that basically was bred with a xanthic het snow. So we're gonna produce some jaguar albino het snows this year. So this is really, really cool. It looks like it's a great looking clutch. Now, we do give this female a laying box with some moss. Now, the problem right here is that she actually laid her eggs right on the heat pad. So it's very time sensitive, and we gotta make sure that we remove the eggs as soon as possible before they actually dry out. So now, mom is being very good, but at the end of the day, we have to be careful. Just be careful here. So I'm just gonna basically take the female and just unravel her slowly so I can have access to the eggs. Now, she's relatively friendly right now, so it's not bad. And here we go. So now I'm gonna take her away from here, and you know what I'm gonna do now is she's letting the eggs go. So I'm just gonna remove the eggs and just lay them out right here. Here, and it looks like it's a relatively nice clutch. Just remove her, be careful not getting bit. And here we go. So mom's alone. That's perfect. We're gonna be just looking at here. See, nice humid box with no eggs, unfortunately. Now, let's make the count. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 eggs here. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 eggs. I mean, that's a very nice clutch right here. Actually, this female, she's probably 5 years old and she's never bred before. So as a first clutch, I'm really, really happy with that. Now, we're just gonna close these bins. We're gonna go downstairs and we're basically gonna go into our dark room where we're gonna be verifying the embryos with that. So until then, brace with me. We're just gonna go right back down and we'll be right with you guys. All right, hey guys, so we're back in our small room where we basically call this a dark room. You're gonna realize soon enough because we're gonna be closing the door off. Now we have 24 eggs that were laid from our carpet python. Now the first thing that we want to do is because we want to check if they're actually viable eggs. We want to check if the fertility level is actually good. So we're going to try to go through this process with you guys. Now when carpet pythons lay, they actually lay them in clumps like this. Now most of the time it doesn't really matter. I could just take them and just put them inside this bin with vermiculite, and then they should be able to go to do super well and then eventually hatch out. Now, one thing that I like to do is I like to separate the eggs one by one, because if ever one goes bad, then I don't want it to contaminate the other ones. So the first thing I do is I just basically slowly and gently remove them. So I go in a basically circular motion and just go back and forth until I can rip the eggs. If ever it feels that it's actually too difficult, I just leave them as is, but I try to separate them as much as we do. So we're just gonna go through this little process here. So I'll just basically open up slowly, and you can see, the eggs, they're actually very, very strong. So they just come up and then they will break open like this. So sometimes when they're not fresh, like this female laid this morning, so the eggs are actually very fresh. but when they're not fresh, maybe they were laid the night before, what happens is that they become even harder to just split up. So I just go in a back and forth motion, and then they just come right out. So let's see here, maybe I'll do that here. I'll split those whips like this here. And then this one here, I will remove the little top one. You see, it just came right off. So like this here is relatively pretty good with that. Now I'm gonna go with these ones here. Now these ones here in this bin, they actually look very, very good. They look white. They don't really have any yellow spots or anything. We call those little yellow spots on the eggs like little boob eggs. There's actually a few here. So maybe, it looks like basically there's like just a deficiency of calcification. Now, the calcification really protects the baby inside the egg for its development. So we want to make sure that if there is a spot that might rot or grow mold, these areas are tend to be a little bit more sensitive. So what we can do, we've had a few tricks that we've had was basically to put basically foot powder, some baking powder, baking soda powder, like for feet, and it works actually really, really good. So we're gonna go with this here, and then don't overdo it. Don't try to do more than it's needed. So just going here, we'll split those ones up just slowly. There we go. Perfect. And here we go. So this looks relatively really good for us to check right now. So we're gonna shut off the lights, and then let's see how it goes. So basically I got Erica's phone with some gummy bears right here, and Michelle, try to just see if we're able to see. But here, okay, you know what? We'll try to close the door at the same time and see if we're able to really see what we're looking for here now. So what we're looking for here is actually this spot right here. So I'm just gonna put it down, close this other light, and then we'll go from here. So let's see. All right, so I don't know if you're able to see well, but we can see this circular motion right here with the little dot in the middle and some vein work. So this is actually the embryo. And if you're shaking a little bit, you can see that it's actually not attached. So it's basically floating inside the middle. We can't really see well, but you can actually see the eyes of the snakes, because the eye is actually the first thing that is developed on the snake. So this one here is all white. We don't see anything. There's a little bit of a blood vein right here, which can sometimes be that it's a dead embryo, but I can see a lot of vein work here, and the embryo being right here on the side. So this is definitely looking good. Now these ones that are just clumped up, I'm just gonna go through them a little bit. I can go sideways. See, maybe like this we can see better. Okay, you see this? So you can see that it's very yellow here, and then there's a lot of things going on right here, probably actually on the other side right there. So it's right here. So that's basically the little process that we do. So I'm not gonna go through the whole thing with you guys. I'm gonna open up the light, but we're just gonna basically be working up and making sure that we go through all of them, make sure that they're perfect. Once they're all done, we close the bins, we identify them, and we're basically gonna be bringing them to our incubator. So until then, let's hope that we're gonna be able to make a little video to show the babies hatching out. So 24 eggs from a jaguar het albino carpet pythons with a axanthic het snow male. So we're aiming for some jaguar albino carpet pythons that will be hets for snows. So very happy with this. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoy this little educational video about how we actually proceed here. And until then, if you like basically egg laying videos like this, make sure you comment down below, like this video, share this page. We really appreciate all the love and support. And until then, no stress, I got work to do.